Hello, happy Sunday and happy International Women's Day. I thought that I would finish off this little run of non-fiction book reviews I've been doing with a book very in keeping to today, that is International Women's Day, and I'll be reviewing The Birth of the Pill by Jonathan Eig. I really hope that his name was pronounced Jonathan Eig because I thought that would be quite fitting, but it's not, it's Jonathan Eig and we have to move on. This book came out in October last year and it was published by Macmillan in the UK. It's about 350 pages long and about halfway through there's some nice photo pages. The Birth of the Pill is about how 4 pioneers reinvented sex and launched a revolution. I really like this cover. I think it's quite vintagey and it evokes the 50s and 60s quite well. So this book was not written by a woman and it's not completely about women, but it's about this huge revolution that affected feminism and the way women would live their lives forevermore, basically. Jonathan Eig documents the history of 4 very important people. Margaret Sanger was in her 70s when she'd spent a lifetime campaigning for women's rights. She was the president of Planned Parenthood. Her biggest goal, even at this age in life, was to create a contraceptive pill that all women, that every woman in America and the world all over could have access to. She sought the support of a scientist who had been kicked out of Harvard and who'd had a very tumultuous career, and his name was Gregory Pincus. Gregory Pincus specialised in mammal reproduction and he was looking for something that would make him be remembered. He was looking for his big eureka moment, and so he jumped on board. So he started working with rabbits and rats, there are so many rabbits and rats mentioned in this book, to create the contraceptive pill she wanted. Later on we get introduced to Catherine McCormick, a very wealthy woman who put loads of money into Planned Parenthood and loads of money directly into the Worcester Foundation where Gregory Pincus was working. She, like Margaret Sanger, was a wealthy, educated woman who just really supported this cause, and she dedicated a lot of time and travelling to spreading awareness about contraceptives and talking to people and all that good stuff. And our 4th pioneer is John Rock, who was a Catholic doctor who was interested in infertility in couples, in married couples. He did research into hormones to see if he could help women get pregnant, and so he came to know Gregory Pincus and he became an advocate of the contraceptive pill and sort of pushed churches into coming around to the idea of it. This is an incredibly well-researched book. There is so much information in here. It's a timeline that sort of starts with Margaret Sanger meeting Gregory Pincus, and we get a huge biography on both of them as we go through. You don't read it kind of wondering, oh, I wonder if he's going to invent this contraceptive pill, because we all know that he did. It's just such a wonderful mix of scientific history and storytelling, because these 4 people are all very interesting in their own right. And I just think it's so wonderfully written. It's humorous in places, and he's also quick to call out the sort of hypocrisy and the bias and the not so nice things about these people. Margaret Sanger in particular wanted this pill for all women, but then at other times she was hugely elitist and couldn't really ignore the fact that what she was doing was for white wealthy women. And Eig points out that she was an advocate of sterilisation. She thought that sort of morally defective people in society should be sterilised, and obviously in the 1950s she wasn't alone in that view. But he lets you know that these 4 people weren't 4 angels and that they were often dishonest about what they were doing and how they were obtaining money. I didn't know anything about the history of the pill before going into this book, so I can't really tell you if these 4 people are the most important 4 people. It almost seems too convenient that 2 men and 2 women should have made this thing happen, but he doesn't ignore other scientists who sort of discovered that replacing hormones could affect the human body. I think this is a very intelligent book, but at the same time it's accessible for people like me who haven't thought about science in a long time. And I learned so much from this book, stuff that I didn't know about, like the pill in particular, and I learned quite a lot about like 1950s American culture, just like the wider image of America, which is really interesting to me because I'm writing a dissertation which is based in American literature in that period at the minute, so I just can't get enough lately. This is a fantastic story and one which deserves to be remembered. At one point he talks about Margaret Sanger and Catherine McCormick and their interest in the women's suffrage movement, and they recognised that even if they sent these women to college and they got all women into schools and learning and getting jobs, what was the point if they still couldn't control whether or not they got pregnant. So interesting, so much gender politics and so much science, and a lovely cover, fantastically well written, and just the right length. If it was any longer, I don't think I would have got this finished, but I did, and I'm really glad I did, so I can definitely recommend this. I hope you have a wonderful day, and let me know what non-fiction or fiction books you like that celebrate powerful, important woman in history, because I would love to read a few more. This was The Birth of a Pill by Jonathan Eig. I have been Candice, and I'm going to go. Bye.